Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the official ARK Podcast, number 139. My name's Coach Brad, and I'm here with the core team. Your host tonight, as always, our wonderful leader, Atlas. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you for the introduction, Brad. And folks, thank you all for being here. Welcome. This is Sunday, our daily podcast over here. We have our great friends all the way from Australia here live. It's really early. We did get a confirmation, a thumbs up. They have had their first cup of coffee. So they're calm, cool, collected, and ready to share their video for this week. We can't wait to see that. We are also here. We're seeing the total vault accounts at 3,859, still in the growth. Not as much as the previous week or two. ILC is a bit down. We're just having a meeting about that, looking at that today. We're seeing there's some projects, there's some things going around that people are talking about and promoting, and we believe that might be a bit of a distraction as to a lot of the folks in the community really pushing ARK. But look, we're understanding the mobile app and the utilities that are coming online are going to really do that sonic boom. So we're very calm, cool, and collected, and understanding that what we're building here is going to make a massive difference. And if you want to stand out, you have to do the work, and you have to do quality products. So that's what we're about. That's what we're working on. And we understand that in just about any business, you're going to have amazing weeks. You're going to have some okay weeks, and you can even have some bad ones. It's just part of the cycles and how everything's going. There's a lot of, I think, liquidity going into the blue chips, Ethereum, Bitcoin. You're hearing some of these folks talking about, $1 million Bitcoin again. The bull run is here, and I hope they're right. But we're playing a different game here, and we're going in a direction where I think we're getting away from all the volatility and all the hype and all the chart watching, and we love it. I think at least for Brett and I, we can speak for ourselves, not having to watch a chart and not having to see what the talking heads and BitBoy is saying. He was talking about $1 million Bitcoin yesterday. I sent a couple of DMs to people. I'm like, that's a sell signal. It always has been. So you got to stick the course, and you got to stay always focused on what you're doing. And of course, I'm actually more interested in what's happening with the banks, with the fiat, with the attack on the crypto to fiat on and off ramps. And with that, I want to share with you a very interesting tweet from Justin Sun. For those of you guys that don't know him, he is the founder of Tron. And to tell you a little something about Tron, the volume moves on Tron to the tune around $68 billion on some days, and it's generally USDT on Tron. It's very fast, it's very efficient, it's very cheap, and that's where the big boys move their cash all around the world without Mr. KYC AML officer at the bank asking, where's this $3.5 billion coming from? I'm going to stop this transaction. I want you to give me all the documentation, and let's sit here and play, ping pong back and forth while your customer, your contract, your business deal is falling apart because you're not able to go ahead and put the cash where it needs to be. So there's a lot of volume on there. So I've got a lot of respect for Justin Sun. One time he gave a donation to Warren Buffett and their company. They do a dinner every year. Who the biggest donation to their charity that they approve, they get to sit down and talk to Warren Buffett and his partner. And he of course, was one of the winners, and he wanted to go and talk his ear off about crypto. They canceled the meeting, they canceled the dinner, but yeah, he's ballsy, man. He's not afraid to go out there and fly the flag. So here we can see, to give you a little bit of a background on this, we know that Credit Suisse is in really hot water, and we've known this since late last year when it came to light that they've mismanaged a considerable amount of the customers in their wealth management, which is that old money. We're talking people here in the tens of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, generational wealth, the kind of stuff that even if your 3 generations of children were crackheads or heroin addicts, they wouldn't be able to get rid of the money. They wouldn't be able to burn it. So they've let down these people that have been there for decades. A lot of them did move over to HSBC and UBS. And now they're, have a $50 billion, bailout that's being discussed. And UBS is offering to buy them out and take over their mess, handle their scandal for $1 billion, which is peanuts when it comes to institutions this large and the business they do, the customers they have. And, these again are, the big boys, top, 10 banks on the planet, well-known money launderers for the cartels. And they're very good at paying the fines when they get caught. So Justin's come in and he's offered $1.5 billion. And I'm going to read to you a little bit about this because this is interesting, I find. UBS has bid for Credit Suisse, falls short. I would like to propose my own offer of $1.5 billion to acquire Credit Suisse and integrate it into the Web 3.0 world. Okay, yeah, man, that's a good start right there. Switzerland has been one of the most crypto-friendly countries in the world. By acquiring Credit Suisse and transforming it into a crypto-friendly financial institution, we can create a new standard for financial innovation that benefits everyone. By acquiring Credit Suisse and integrating to crypto, there's 2 tweets in here. Sorry about that. 2023 brings its fair share of challenges, but we at Tron are more committed than ever to achieving our goals. Our focus remains on the growth of the stablecoin USDT, TUSD, USDD, USDC, USDJ on Tron. We aim to grow our stablecoin market cap from $40 billion to $60 billion. So yeah, man, really, really interesting. It does make a lot of sense. They are crypto friendly over there in Switzerland. And, right now, I think we need a horse in the race to come and pick up a little bit of, what's happened in America with these banks, that some of them are obviously very involved. They were very involved in the whole crypto to fiat and also fiat to crypto on and off boarding. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Mr. Brett, if you could join us here. Hope you're having a great day.
Yeah, doing great. Just working hard as always. Not enough time in the day, right? But yeah,
tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, just an update on my end. We're just, everything's coming together. We're still just working on the utilities, the marketing funnels, the PWAs coming together. Crypto King's been sending us updates on that as well. So, nothing new, I would say, to report. But yeah, keeping an eye on the macro, I think is important right now. Watching what's happening with Bitcoin, watching what's happening with the banking situation and everything. So we can still navigate these waters going forward, knowing that there's going to be regulatory pressure, there's going to be uncertainty in the market, and just keeping an eye on the prize here and knowing that we have a very stable and well-paying protocol here with ARK, and staying away from the shining objects and all the fear and FUD, but then also the you mentioned the calls for a bull market and $1 million Bitcoin. Could we see that one day? Absolutely. I think as we clear these macroeconomic situations and issues, I think we'll be in a better position to see that with the Bitcoin halvening and knowing that it's a place that people can go that's not going to be under SEC threat. I think that'll play into the price appreciation for Bitcoin, but I don't think it's time yet. So we'll see if we can get through 2023 and then start talking in 2024 about a bull run. I think that'll be probably more appropriate as we get through these these times of the macroeconomic cycles that we're going through. So yeah, that's where we're focused on. We have a meeting tonight to talk about the gold-backed stablecoin that we've been discussing in some of the podcasts. And I know Bizy Dips and Max Powers are going to talk about that in their weekly catch-up. They mentioned that. So yeah, we're working hard and behind the scenes have a lot of things going on and a long list of utilities and revenue we want to bring to the protocol much sooner than later. So that's what we're working on. We should have a big week and accomplish quite a bit this week and the next, coming into the end of the month, knowing that the PWA is going to be there, the landing page, the presentations, all of these things that we've been talking about for a long time are going to kind of come to a close, and then we're going to open new doors with new utilities and bring those forward, because that's really where I think it's going to separate ARK from every other ROI DApp that's in the space right now.
Absolutely. They should start preparing for their DAO votes for those legacy NFT holders. We're going to be announcing the plans and what we're going to do first to the DAO, and then we're going to come to the rest of the community. But the voting will happen on the DAO. So if you want to vote here and you want to be involved and you want to earn some of those revenues that are going to be coming in and have a majority share in that is going to our legacy NFT investors and holders. I forgot to talk about the Spark Price pool. Give me a second here, Coach Brad, and the Crypto Badgers. We're at 323.90 ARK. That's a street value of 1,849.47. We skipped yesterday. If there's any of you here that weren't here or haven't kept up with the announcements, with the Friday upgrade of the vault contract, we reset also the Spark price pool. So with that, it's been building up. Yesterday was going pretty slow, and now it's catching up. So we'll keep a monitor. We'll keep an eye on how that's going. But it is at a healthy rate where we believe it's a fantastic win for a single winner. Yesterday would have been, I think, about half or more than half of what we're looking at right here today. And we don't want anyone to feel that they got the short end of the stick. Fairness is very important. And when it's your turn, we want it to really have an effect. And we don't want anyone to feel that they have to look over and at this list and say, hey, this person got, 347. This one got 304. This one got 363. Wow, this one got the all-time high. And I've got, 110 ARK. It'd be like going back in time, right? I think to, when we were, sub 300, right? So, we thank everyone for their patience, and we hope that you also, agree with our decision to let that wait so that everyone can have their fair chance. Meanwhile, everything's still going. Legacy is going fantastic, paying out. Everyone who has bond in a foundation, they've been earning their BUSD perfectly. So it's just a matter of one day of not having that spark drawing, as we didn't want to give anyone a lesser amount than what we've already grown accustomed to, which is pretty massive. With that, I'll turn it over to you, Coach Brad, for the all aboard, and can't wait to see this Crypto Badgers. Let's make it happen.
Thank you very much, Atlas. So today we have our resident weekly video from the Crypto Badgers, fantastic investors, real world smart investors, golfers, great friends here at ARK. And really looking forward to watching their video also. It's the only video that comes onto the All Aboard segment that I don't vet, because I just don't need to with these guys. They are super professional, and so it's a nice surprise for me each week as well. So I get to watch it with all of you. Just before we hand it over to them, I will go through the suite widget for anyone that is unsure of how that works. It's pinned in the pinned messages, and it's in the announcement channel 24 hours a day. So you get plenty of time to work it into your daily routine. It's super quick and super easy. All you do is log in with your email address and then just follow the tasks. The task might be, for example, to like this video. You click on the task and it takes you directly to the piece of content. You drop the like, enter your name, come back and just move on to the next task. It helps you, it helps the content creator, and it helps everybody on board the ARK, as we are a community-driven project. You get entered on a daily basis into the daily draw, for a chance to win between 50 to 100 BUSD worth of ARK, which gets airdropped directly to your vault account. The only thing you need to do to be eligible is have an active vault account in the system and to complete all of the tasks on the list. Real quick, real simple, and a fantastic way to get some extra ARK, help build that principal balance and earn more via the 2% every single day. So, like I always say, complete no-brainer. So trying to keep in line with the schedule, we will move quickly forward. Max has his screen ready to go. Really looking forward to this video. I hand it over to you, Max, and buys your dips. Take it away, guys.
Thanks, Brad. And yes, it's an early morning here in Australia, but still fulfilling the residency, and appreciate you guys having us on. So I'll hit the play here.
YouTube crypto show with two guys who are kind of in the know. Crypto badges ahead, so you're in the clear. No worry affair, we're helping you steer. Shouts to the team, we can't forget Max Power and Bazzi Dips. Don't get wrecked, a pump would be nice, but remember, it's no financial advice. Crypto badges.
Thanks for joining the Crypto Badgers, two gens that like to do our research. I'm Max Power, joined as always by Matt, aka Bazzi Dips. An absolutely massive one today on Arkfi Weekly. You're going to want to stick around and hear some of this. Some huge news regarding a potential stable coin and also some major upgrades to the Vault contract. A warm welcome to all of our subscribers. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Do give us a like and a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content. And Matt, on the ARK, it's kept us busy, these podcasts this week. We knew we had a big show, didn't we? We were messaging each other going, there's our headline for the week. We knew we had big stuff. People are going to want to hear it.
Yeah, it was a really big week in news for Arkfi. It's been a busy week, actually, just all around, just trying to keep my head above water, keeping out of the abyss, Max, keeping away from those crabs in the
nipping. What did Atlas say? It was
the crabs in the deep ocean. And all those other crustaceans, that nastiness under the ocean. So just keeping my head above water this week, mate. But no, plenty of news to report today.
Okay, well, as per usual, let's do a little statistical review. Just the week that was here in Arkfi. You'll see there the liquidity's gone up 10K up to 840,000. A little bit slower on terms of the new Vault accounts this week, around 140 added this week, slightly down the week before, which probably explains why the ILC reserves have dipped down from 485 the week before. But really, over the last couple of months, I mean, this has ranged between 350 and 500. And Matt, another big week in the Spark Awards, as per usual, although it was, I believe, 6 days this week.
Yes, indeed. The team decided in their most recent podcast that they wouldn't do that one day. There was only 69 rewards available. That was because of the pause in the contracts, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But for the week, there was still through those 6 days, there was 2,204.63 ARK given away. Let's say at a valuation of $5.70. That gives us a BUSD street value of $12,566.39, taking the total now to well over 100,000 worth of Spark Awards given out.
I think on the podcast this week, actually, Catalyst talked through the probability of winning the Spark Prize. I think he mentioned 1 in 800, roughly. But of course, you can win every day. So that, I think, puts you at about a 42% chance of winning at some stage throughout the year. And I like those odds.
I do like those odds, Max. And I don't know if you noticed on the dashboard, there's now an extra column to show whether or not the wallet that's won is a first-time winner, second-time winner, third-time winner. So that's
there we go. I hadn't noticed that. There you go, giving me some alpha here.
I've given you some alpha, Max. You can see the wins on the right-hand side.
Oh, BB3.
So obviously, there was a second-time winner.
The BB3 here's got 382, and I was the second winner. Whew.
And we also had the all-time high, 401.86 0.95 ARK. So, look, this is only going to get bigger and better. So I expect a very big week coming up.
Yeah, well, of course, remembering that as more accounts come into the Arkfi system, that means by virtue of that, there's more compounds that are feeding up to the Guardian wallet, which is where the Spark rewards come from. So it's a mathematical certainty that will continue to grow. As we understand it, on the legacy NFTs, it's just the 8 this week sold, but always growing. The NFT rewards pool's been holding steady there at 68,000. But Matt, there's a lot of news to get through. So let's start with the big one. What happened with this Vault contract?
Yeah, there were some updates to the Vault contract. That all went down on Friday when contracts were paused for a few hours. Actually, the team had allowed 24 hours, but they only needed a few hours to implement these updates. And it's important that everyone realises that nobody's lost any rewards during that period of downtime. So a snapshot was taken. So nobody's missed out on any of those lucrative rewards. But just some of the updates that were included, Max. Firstly, the update was to allow 100% withdrawals even when the CWR upper limit is exceeded. I can only assume that is just, to sort of help people out who've gone over their CWR.
I think there was just a little bug there.
Yeah, I think so. Also, to allow CWR allocations to include thousands of a percent.
Got to get specific here. I'm not satisfied unless I'm getting 1,000%. The last few weeks I've been going, I can't fully calculate until I can get that 1,000%.
Oh dear. And thirdly, some users had experienced seesawing daily ROIs after their NDV went below zero. So obviously that needed to be rectified. So a bug fix was implemented to stop that from happening.
But does that mean that we think that there just were a few?
So oscillating between 1% and 2%, as I understand it.
And
so
where it should have been 1%.
Yeah, exactly. But they found it very, very quickly. So obviously a minimal thing in the long term. Also, another important update, Max. We talked last week on our video that the team were looking to create investor packages where an investor could just pick the total sum that they wanted to invest. They could hit the buy button, choose a package, and basically the system would automatically allocate that to like the foundation, Vault, et cetera. So the contracts are now enabled to handle those investor packages. So it's an idea that we really, really love. So it's good that update has been included. Also, as part of the update, Brett had mentioned that some further gas optimization had been added. So I think there's going to be another
gas optimization.
We love gas optimization, Max. Well, we're auto allocate sort of guys, so every cent matters. But I believe another 5 to 10% reduction is what they've been able to achieve. And look, the team's mentioned before that they're going to review this on an ongoing basis. So it's nice to see another reduction in gas costs. A couple of other, I guess, big things that we need to talk about. I mean, firstly, this update included the ability for the team moving forward to be able to switch chains if it was required or needed. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we can't be 100% sure that BSC will be around forever, or, there may just be better chains that, that we want to move to or migrate to in the future. So having a contract
CZ gets shut down.
Well, look, you can't rule out anything. I mean, we've had some great surprises over the last, I shouldn't say great, we've had some pretty awful surprises over the last 12 months. So you can't rule anything out. So, I guess having the contracts ready to go for, sort of a rapid deployment is a very sensible upgrade in my opinion. Now, there was also some other news, Max, in regards to, the stablecoin side of things. Do you want to take us through that?
Yeah, well, as you know, if you're in the ARK system, one of the sweetest things about it is that what you earn is in BUSD. So there's a lot of certainty and predictability about what it is that you're able to put in and out. Now, of course, naturally, the community has been asking, well, what happens if BUSD sort of stops being a thing? A bit along the same lines if BSC gets shut down, right? The project doesn't want to be caught. Deer in headlights, I think, is the...
we don't require deer in headlights. We don't need that, Max.
We don't need that kind of uncertainty. And as we have mentioned in a previous video, the BUSD token itself is, you could say, somewhat being phased out. I believe Paxos have said it can be redeemed 1-to-1 until February next year. But obviously there is some uncertainty about what will be the prime stablecoin in the Binance/BSC ecosystem. At this stage, everyone is kind of assuming that CZ is going to have a solution that rolls out. And if that's the case, then obviously that's fantastic. But the Arkfi team are not resting on their laurels, and they're looking at other solutions. Things like USDT, who knows, right? I mean,
there's massive transparency issues, aren't there? I mean, we really did not know if the Emperor has any clothes or not, do we?
And I like my Emperors wearing clothes. That's the team had kept their cards pretty close to the chest. But I'm just going to play a snippet here, Matt, of what Atlas had to say on the podcast this week about what the team's plans might be for a stablecoin.
What we're working on here is the ability, instead of being paid out in BUSD, we could have physical gold or silver, grams, ounces, and kilos. It is our understanding on a multi-year strategy. We didn't sign up for 6 months, a year to this project. We have a long-term vision, and the capabilities are there. It's just a matter of putting in the work and tying things together, and being able to have that reliable, robust opportunity that gives folks the option. Let me cash out a BUSD, USDT. There's, depending on flavor, right? Because I think we're going to see some changes. We're going to see some more pressure happening in crypto as well as fiat.
So, team looking to develop a precious metals-backed stablecoin, possibly some gold, that appears to be, somewhat of a viable solution. They might have some options from what they've indicated. And I guess, really, Matt, this would not just be for Arkfi, but it could be a solution that other projects might see the benefit of using as well. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is, mate. Look, at the end of the day, it's all about risk mitigation and preparation for the future. I mean, the Arkfi team does have a long-term vision, and while, from what I can see, many other projects seem to be really sleeping on the stablecoin issue in particular, it's great, to sort of see the team planning for all eventualities. So, a gold or silver or combination-backed stablecoin sounds really, really interesting. Some of these other teams might, also want to utilize something like this. So it's really, really exciting. I think it's a great road for the team to be going down.
So there's a long way to go here in terms of, getting this up and running. But obviously, it's important to start now, because you're not going to be able to flick a switch.
No.
If BUSD suddenly goes out the window, right? So that's the idea here, as Atlas says, to be 10 steps ahead, look at what the problems could be. But from what they've indicated, it sounds like you've got the option then basically to then trade into a stable coin that you want the back of this. Once you earn your rewards, you might sell your ARK tokens into this precious metals backed stable coin, or allegedly get the gold yourself.
I think I'm not sure how easy or difficult that would be. I mean, obviously, one of the pitfalls with gold is just the cost of moving it around. But I guess for some bigger holders, that might be an option if that's something that they want to have. But I'd be just happy with the stablecoin. I mean, I'm not a huge gold bug, to be honest. I mean, against most assets, it's been a pretty poor performer over the last 15 or so years. However, against fiat, it's performed well. So I think it'd definitely be a step in the right direction.
Yeah, well, certainly very excited to see what plays out there in the end, because I've certainly not heard any other projects, being this radical in the solutions that they're looking for. But it's refreshing to hear this kind of outside the box thinking. So well played to the team, and obviously it's going to take a lot of effort and time to put this into place, and we'll keep you posted as it carries on.
Atlas, any more alpha to share?
Well, sure. You posed some great questions there, and I like the way you guys tackled it, understanding really what we're trying to do here. And it is to be ahead, and it is absolutely to have a choice, as there's definitely warning shots that have been fired. All you got to do is turn on the television, if you know what I'm saying, and you'll see the fear that's happening with fiat. We're seeing a lot of third world countries developing nations having issues as they're having to buy very, very expensive dollars. And this is just not in America. It's a ripple effect. There's war happening. There's not a need to panic, but there's a need to be open-minded and to shift into what we're hearing them say. They're going after the stable coins. I mean, this is not an idea or a proposal. You know, they've got their targets on CZ. They've got their targets on BUSD. There's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to USDT. If the emperor has the close, I got to steal that one from you guys. Great one. There's a lot of elephants in the room. So do we sit here and wait to see how the cookie crumbles, or do we go to what's already happening? I mean, we've studied what JP Morgan is doing with their, private, pseudo public, chain and their network. And they're going in that direction of, backing with metals. So you got to look at what the big players are doing and why they're doing it. And then you got to read between the lines, and you understand that the narrative here, it's about what's a security in crypto and what is not. It's already been, officially stated through various, government organizations that matter, that they consider that Bitcoin is not a security. That's a huge, huge thing for crypto. I mean, let's not ignore that. They're also considering that tokenization of metals are not securities. Another one. Very bullish for that one. So it's very logical to us. Why don't we go to what they're already, saying is legal, acceptable, and what they're shifting into? And we're not just seeing, this happening in fiat or metals. We're seeing also SWIFT, which is pretty much the rails for international finance and payments. We're paying a lot of attention to what those guys are doing and how they're setting up their payment system, and they're staying ahead. So, to answer the part about the cashing in gold, the tokenized gold that we would be paired to give you a little more clarity, will be in vaults that are audited, and we're going to be able to have verification there that the off-chain asset is connected to the on-chain asset. Chainlink's done some great work with that. They're renowned around the world for being very professional at doing exactly those things. So we've been studying it. We've been looking at what the methods are. So an option would be to have it, like you said, shipped over to where you are, or even segregate, open an account at the vault and move that gold over into your storage space, which makes it very seamless and easy, and still have the opportunity. Hey, I have it in storage. I don't want to touch the gold, but I want it there. I want to have it under my account, and then I want to be able to sell it for crypto, whether that's Bitcoin, whether that's a stable coin, whether that is another asset-backed commodity. You're saying, hey, gold kind of hit a kind of all-time high. Silver's a better opportunity. So the idea here is to give you folks a lot of options, so that you don't have to be so concerned and worried, and we don't have to be so concerned and worried about what's going to happen later, as we're already seeing green lights flashing everywhere. This road is okay. I hope that helps.
Yeah, makes sense.
Now, Matt, you've been working with Mr. Z, as I understand.
Well, I wouldn't say working with Mr. Z, but we had a great chat about all things airdrops in the after show. I think it was 4 or 5 days ago. As you know, Max, we were covering airdrops in crypto since probably November-ish, I'm going to say 2021. We did a pretty lengthy video on airdrop opportunities out there, and we covered many of the ones that have sort of come to fruition, Optimism and Arbitrum and Hop and a bunch of others. And so what Mr. Z is going to be doing is he's going to be starting what will be known as the Arkfi Airdrop Army. And that group is going to be there to explore opportunities for airdrops in the broader crypto space, and also test new advances in blockchain technology. So this group will be on Discord. There's no sort of detail announced yet. I guess that'll come in the coming days. But this group will likely form the testing ground for the new Arkfi mobile app and possibly other things in the future. So, happy to be a part of that one. Mr. Z, we love listening to Mr. Z's commentary on all things DeFi. I think that's going to be a group that definitely want to participate in.
Yes, and all of the articles and news that Z talks about in his DeFi sessions is also in Discord here, just in the DeFi Links channel. This week on All Aboard, Matt, more YouTubers and medium and content creators were featured on the show. Of course, yours truly, the Crypto Badgers, with our resident Sunday slot doing where you can catch this very weekly review. In fact, this very moment will be played, the weekly review, which will be an unusual moment tomorrow. We also had on the Driptopian Donatello. Shout out to Donatello, who's pounding out the content. Catalyst was in there, as we mentioned, doing some very interesting insights into the Spark Awards. Drip Nomad, and of course Crypto Fergie, who's also pounded out that content all the time. So a shout out to all the creators in the community who continue to spread the good word about ARK. Now, Matt, the time's out. We've been a bit discombobulated this week.
Discombobulated. Thanks, George Constanza.
Because there has been a change in the podcast time.
Yes, there has, mate. So formerly the daily podcast kicked off at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's been moved forward now to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this change has been made to try and cater for, more people, broader part of the community, and to ensure that the team are not working into the early hours of the morning. Now, for us, Max, it does make things rather tricky, doesn't it? Because at the moment, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is 6 a.m. where we hail from. So that is rather early. I've done my very best to get up nice and early and listen to them live. But obviously, we can listen to the recordings if need be. But I think this new time slot, I guess the proof will be in the pudding in terms of how many people attend this revised time slot. But I think it's going to allow a lot more people, particularly from Europe, to be able to tune in, which is nice. So hopefully the attendance creeps up over time.
Yes, and obviously you can find some of the recordings of the podcast here also in the Discord and also in the Telegram chat. It's going to get real tricky when that daylight savings ends.
Yeah, because we're going to go from 6 a.m. to 5 a.m., aren't we?
That starts getting tough.
Oh, now 5. I'm normally up, Max. I know you're up slightly later, but I'm normally up at 5 or 6. But it's a little tough for me, isn't it? It's with kids getting them to school and stuff like that. But anyway, we will do our very best. And at the end of the day, the team need to do what is best for the community.
Also, be sure to check out the weekly Medium article that is on the Arkfi channel here in Medium. This gets written up by Catalyst using the Crypto Badgers notes, but putting his own terrific spin on all the statistics that are all laid out there from each week in the ARK community. So do check that out. That is the news.
Dun 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 dun.
But now brings us to
this is the fun part, Max. We get to look at our wallet.
Okay, the calculator. Here's where the magic happens, Matt. Let me see where we're really at. Answer Richie Benno, chew, 1 chew, and then Australians will appreciate that. Americans will be wondering what the hell I'm doing. So if we take a look down here, our NDV still clinging on for dear life at 2%. We can see that we've got that in hand until about the 8th of April, so still a couple of weeks to enjoy there.
That's a good 3 weeks, Max.
Yeah, so this week, as it stands at the moment, the 19th to the 26th, this is without the taxes, of course. It's getting up there, isn't it?
Certainly is. Starting to get juicy, Max.
This is 2.5. Wow. Okay. 311. I mean, that's getting up to, $500 there. They obviously then got the tax, so it's looking like about $450 a week withdrawal there.
Yeah, $50-$60 a day.
Very nice indeed. That might go to a few ales on our little golf trip that we might have coming up in a couple of weeks' time.
Yes, we've got the Crypto Badgers Cup coming up on April 4 and 5.
I know, just in time before the end of our 2% as we drop off. Unless, of course, someone else would like to join the Crypto Badgers team wallet. If you've found the project through our content or have enjoyed it, costs you nothing. So in the description below. But looking ahead, we always do the 1 month look ahead, see where we're at. Now, of course, this will be one of the first ones where we really got to factor this drop. So 19th. The 19th, the balance is we'll be having the bat raise for 3,000. The 19th.
Nice.
And that will be 19th to the 26th. So you can see, you might be wondering, well, how's that slightly lower? But that's obviously because our balance will be bigger, but we'll be down at 1%. And that looks like it's going to be about 350 to 400 for the week there. So
nice.
But obviously that's just going to keep going. So the Badgers wallet, very much looking forward to that sort of replenishment throughout the week. We hope you're all enjoying being on the ARK and avoiding the crypto abyss here on the ARK.
Down with the crabs, Max, and all the crustaceans and bottom feeders. We need to avoid that area at all costs.
That's right. While the ARK is smooth, we are away from the crustaceans. So on that note, as per usual, we'll take it out with our official full version of the Crypto Badgers theme song. That is this week at Arkfi. Thanks for joining, giving us a like there if you enjoyed the content. See you next week, man.
Cheers, Maxie.
Coming live from the crypto world, bringing you all that you need. Let's go. This is the YouTube Crypto Show with two guys who are kind of in the know. Crypto Badgers ahead, so you're in the clear. No worry affair, yeah, we're helping you steer. Shouts to the team, we can't forget Max Power and Z Dips. Don't get wrecked. A pump would be nice, but remember, there's no financial advice. Crypto Badgers.
There we have it.
That was fantastic, and you guys, you guys are really funny. Well, when you troll me, the crypto abyss, the crabs. I got to be careful every word I say. It's gonna end up in here in the video.
Look, yeah, I think we managed to slip in two crustaceans references in there. So from the abyss in the sea.
Bikini Bottom with Mr. SpongeBob. James at the water cooler. Yeah, I got some funny stuff. It's funny when I hear other people say it. But a great video. Love the breakdown, going through everything, and you got the gold stuff. That was a big update this week. Something we've been working on behind the scenes, and it just seems that things are moving faster and faster, and the narratives are, and the pieces. I mean, look, honestly, we didn't imagine the bank situation really unfolding that quickly. And it's interesting when you're looking at these things for years and you're like, hey, at some point, the music has to stop playing. These debts are going to catch up, and there's just going to be more turmoil, but you don't expect it to happen and unfold so quickly. Because there's a lot of folks that been screaming this stuff out for years, every single day, and it's almost like, the boy who cried wolf, right? But when you see it happen, you're like, whoa, wait, hold on, and how does this play out, and what can we do? How can we pivot, and how can we look at things not from a crisis mindset, but from a opportunity mindset? Big difference, huge difference. And I think that a lot of people easily are led into the crisis mode, and they're not understanding the opportunity. They're not seeing the bigger boat. Just today, out through the investor groups that a lot of you folks are in, there was a project that came out and failed today, and now starts the whole thing. They're giving money back, or are they not? And we see that, and we're like, well, bigger boat, come to the ARK. We don't rejoice in anyone having a hard time, but we also understand that If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to have the same results. We've said that here time and time again. You have to do things differently, and you have to provide investors more options. And that's where I think we will be very successful, and we will really stand out as a very solid, safe option for investors. And we're thinking ahead. So I'm glad you guys liked it. I don't think we discussed that with you when you were here this week. I don't think there was a lot of conversations about it or questions, but I'm glad that you brought them up today. And we're here to answer to everyone. What's on our minds? What have we've been working on? We've talked about our own layer one blockchain, but understanding now as the story keeps going faster and faster, we're like, hey, we're not ready for that. We, however, are not going to just sit here on the BSC and wait to see what happens. Because as you know, the famous saying goes, if you want to find out what happens, just sit there and hang out. You're going to find out. And it's not always good. Curiosity killed the cat. So great research being done. And that was something that was not in our cards, to be really transparent with you guys, of shifting to another blockchain that wouldn't be our very own, because that's something I've personally been working on for over 2 years. Now, that's not going to stop us. We're doing the research, and of course, it's going to be something that is going to be huge for the project. Talk about a new audience, talk about a bigger boat, going to a chain where there is so much potential, and it's a different crowd than what we're used to. And not to talk bad about the BSC, but it doesn't have the greatest reputation, if you really want to be honest, and look at what's happened here in the past two years or so. There's a lot of heinous debacles that have unfolded. A lot of people have been rugged, had their money stolen, lied to. And we understand that the team here is very different, that the professionals that are helping us, that are working here every single day to create these products are very successful folks with a lot of experience. And I think that migration will fit right in, is what I'm trying to say. And I think we will be a great solution to maybe more of that conservative crowd, not the G crowd, but it's also looking for appetite, that's also looking to be fed. It's also looking for high yield. And they're looking for successful teams that can provide this. And even bringing to them something that they don't even have, which is that metals, tokenized platform. We think that's going to catch fire. I mean, not just here in BSC, but everywhere. And maybe we'll bring a lot of folks from the BSC over with this migration, which could be quite exciting. And you might find a bunch of developers running around with their like a chicken with their head cut off, trying to figure out what to do, because your investors are saying, hey, look what ARK is doing. What are you doing for us? Are you prepared if the S hits the fan? Are you? So it's all opportunities. Does that make sense to you guys, Max and Visey Dips?
Yeah, it certainly does, Atlas, and it's great to have options and great to see that you guys are thinking well ahead into the future. And I certainly don't know of other DeFi projects on BSC thinking this way. And I do think there's going to be potentially a panic towards the end of the year from some of those teams who just haven't come up with any sort of other plans. And at the moment, I think that they look quite exposed.
And look at it from this angle as well. When we open up this funnel and our whole marketing campaign, and we have our mobile application, and we're talking to the average Joes and Janes, right? The Uber drivers, the farmers, the single mothers, people are wary, and they're going to go to Google and they're going to see what is this Binance chain, and they're going to look on on YouTube. And if they dig deep enough, they're going to find things here that might put them off, if that makes sense. And that's something that we've understood, and it's something that we think, and we've thought we'll get through that just by being professional and really being ourselves, which is more than enough, in my opinion. However, linking up into the future where, they're building, ISO 20022, big corporations, big banks, SWIFT, where they're heading to. And they're not looking for pre-sale money. They're not looking for to put you on a whitelist. They don't need the retail. And that's where we want to be. And we believe that that's going to give a different optic to ARK and what we're doing when we migrate over and they do the research. Because believe me, we'll do a great job of telling them, why we've migrated and where we are and who's standing shoulder to shoulder with us there. As I say, dress to impress. So we're always finding the positive spin, right? The positive opportunity, not the crisis. And it's so much funner and I think productive to tell a story of opportunity that's tangible and it's, real. And as this is unfolding, Brett and I have had a lot of conversations where like, we couldn't have written a better story. This is all making sense, and we're doing the right research. We're having the right meetings. We have one in Singapore in about 5-6 hours, and it's almost like destiny unfolding right before our very eyes. And we're just, wow, okay, this is getting better and better. And we always want to be telling the better stories, and we always want to be making the right decisions and the right moves at exactly the right time. So, very excited. Coach Brad, we're not having, because we have Mistletoe not available this evening with us, right? He had a personal emergency. Looking here at the time.
Sweet widget at today's sweet widget we will either do later or in the podcast tomorrow. So I believe it is time to unleash the beast.
Okay, fantastic. All right, and we don't have Z either. I want to announce somebody's birthday, somebody important that he wanted to spend some time with, and he got a hall pass for today, so we'll have him on tomorrow. So without further ado, let's go ahead and move on over to do our Sparky. Who wants to call a Sparky out tonight? Sparky is back. Let's go. All right, bear with me as we get the screen back up here. All right. Sometimes it takes a couple of tries. Thank you always, guys, for your patience. I know you guys can see it, but I cannot see it, and that becomes a little bit of a mess. Hold on. Meanwhile, we'll get this going. Do we have any questions or comments? Do you see it upward? Can you see that, Coach Brad?
Certainly can.
Good. Oh, right, you are there. Okay, perfect, sir. All right, let's go ahead and unleash the Sparky tonight. It's looking good. Really happy with it.
Yeah, I think we're going to leave it for the extra day. After the reset, looking healthy.
Yeah, we don't want anyone to feel shortchanged. It's important. Everybody has a smile on their face. Maybe a day later, but never a dollar short, my friend. Let's get this crypto.
Let's get this crypto.
Let's get this crypto.
All right, here it goes. Here it goes. This is our first drawing after the vault upgrade. Let's see if everything goes through correctly. And it has. Tonight's Spark Prize winner, their wallet ends in 66B. And they are, oh, wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Showing 15.70. Hold on. You see that too, Coach Brad?
And I see the rest of the Spark reward is still there.
Okay. Yeah, that's something that shouldn't happen that way. It should be the full amount. All right, I'm going to have to call out Mr. Green and see what happened through the release of that. On my end, let me just make sure that I didn't do anything. Check the transaction really quick, because we do have always the option of percentages for when we wanted to split. But that was 100% Spark that we launched. And I'll take a look quickly at the transaction. Let me see here. There it is. It is a 100%. I got a transaction hash. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, we're going to have to look into that. I have to get with them. And we'll see if we withdraw it to release. But ideally, let me take a snapshot here, 328.06. This person should have the credit for the full amount. A quick second here. 15.70 now. All right. We'll get that taken care of. See. All right. We don't, usually after this, we move over to Z. He's not going to be here with us this evening. So, we'll conclude the recording, and we'll stay in for maybe a couple of minutes for Q&A, but I want to track down Mr. Green so we could see on the contract side why I didn't do it. This is our first one since the vault update, so maybe there is something that isn't connecting correctly or calculating correctly, it seems. Hold on, there we go. So folks, thank you for coming this evening to the podcast. Sorry, a little bit distracted, guys. So I'm writing a message here as well. We did the Spark rewards. As you can see, there is an issue that we see that it didn't do the full Spark prize of 328.06, only 15.70 ARK. So we're going to get that resolved. We also want to thank the Crypto Badgers for coming over tonight and giving us their amazing videos they do every week. They're residents here on the All Aboard sessions. Fantastic video this week. Covered some key points of this past week. Primarily very important, the update to the vault, as well as looking at the shift of crossing chains and also the exposure to BUSD and what that can mean in the long run as we're setting and looking at those options. So we thank everyone for being here. Also for those that are listening to the podcast, we want to thank you. We hope that you found it informative as well as educational and entertaining. We're going to be back tomorrow, same time. That'll be 3 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. UTC with our new schedule. Thank you all. We're going to close the podcast down, and we'll stay up around for some Q&A for a couple minutes. Thank you.